listen to the way you paused when I said I'm scared, and you changed the cause. I should have noticed how my laugh got thin, how I kept forgiving what you called a win. You held me close like a borrowed coat, one for a second then gone like smoke, and I kept calling it destiny, when it was just you making me. I painted red flags into roses, turned your coat into maybe he's broken. I stayed too long, and now your name feels like a wrong song. You are my regret, my quiet mistake, soft piano counting every promise you'd break, mournful violin, the truth in my chest, saying love shouldn't hurt like this at its best. I gave you my best, you gave me the test, and I failed myself trying to be your rest. You were my regret, and I'm still learning to forget. My friends stopped calling, I said I was busy. Truth was I couldn't let them see me dizzy. I wore on fine like a perfect dress, while I unraveled under the stress. You disappear and come back sweet, like homes were enough when I needed peace. I waited for you to choose me out loud, but you only loved me when no one was around. I lost my voice in the little ways, and the careful tone in the silent days. I became a girl who didn't ask, just smiled through a tightening mask. You were my regret, my quiet mistake, soft piano counting every Built my walls so high and strong. Thought I could stand, thought I belonged. Then you came in with your gentle lies, and I forgot to guard my fragile skies. Your smile became my secret place, the one that time could not erase. Every word, every touch, every glance pulled me deeper into your dance. I trusted you more than I should, opened my heart, misunderstood. Like a fragile glass, and I forgot how long pain lasts. I thought love was safe, I thought it stayed, but you found the cracks and I obeyed. You were my weak spot, the place I never meant to show you. I gave you my heart, and now it aches, now it knows. I loved you hard, I loved you true, believed in everything I saw. I replay the nights we couldn't save, the whispered dreams, the hearts we gave. I blame myself for trusting you, for letting my guard fall, for seeing through behind your smile, the shadows creeping all the while. I try to fight, I try to run, but you held me close, I came undone. I carry scars I cannot hide, from loving you, from loving wide. The world moves on, but I remain, gentle pain. I thought I knew the strength inside, but love exposed where I could hide. You were my weak spot, the place that never meant to show. I gave you maybe one day I'll stand again, rebuild my walls, let love mend. I'll keep my heart, I'll guard it well, and learn the lessons only pain can tell. But tonight I sit, I feel the stain of every tear, of everything. a part of me I cannot hide. I love too much, I love too free, and you became my memory. I'll rise again, I'll find my way, learn to love another day. But in my heart, I can't forget you were my weak You were my weak spine. The house was still, no final scene, no shattered words, no in between. Your coffee cup still by the sink, like you to be back, or so I'd think. You didn't fight, you didn't cry, just slowly learned how to say goodbye. I felt the shift before it showed, the silent weight, a growing cold. You smiled like nothing had to change, but love was already rearranged. I heard the ending in your breath, a soft surrender dressed as rags. Love left quietly again, no reason why, no when or then. It packed its bags in gentle ways and slipped out through our yesterdays. Love left quietly again, like it was never meant to stay till the end. No broken doors, no cheers to see, just empty space and need. I stayed awake while you slept, son, counting all the love we didn't say out loud. You touched my hand like habit does, now like you still believe in us. I tried to talk, you changed the theme, called it peace, but it felt like grief. I blame the world, I blame the tide, anything but reading the sign. You chose distance over truth, left me guessing what we'd lose. I would have fought if you had tried, but you were gone before goodbye. Love left quietly again, no sudden fall, just wearing thin. It faded out like a dying flame, still warm, enough to say piano whispers low. Every note says what I know. The violin cries in tender pain for love that wouldn't explain. Enduring silence is a choice, and love should never lose its voice. To keep soft goodbyes, quiet praise. I'm learning how to fill this space. We were just folding laundry, laughing at nothing at all. Your shirt on my shoulder, our shadows on the wall. The kettle started singing, steam fogged up the glass, and you kissed my forehead softly, like the moment would last. Soft piano from the next room, 2 notes, then a pause. Like it knew how silence gathers when it looks for a cause. You said I'm just tired, and I didn't push for more, 'cause love was still living with us, or so I was sure. Then your eyes stopped meeting mine, like a light that learned to dim, and I felt the air change quietly before you ever said a thing. Love left without warning, no crash, no scene, no goodbye song, just a door that didn't slam, and a heart that stayed too long. I kept holding on to us while you loosened every thread. Love left without warning, and it took my breath instead. A text turned into later, your always turned to maybe, and I started speaking softer so I wouldn't make you angry. The violin cried at midnight, thin and trembling low, like a secret in the ceiling that the room refused to show. I replayed our first promises like film that wouldn't end, trying to find the moment where my lover became became my friend. He'd smile like nothing happened and drift back to your phone. And I'd count the quiet seconds like they were made of stone. I asked, are we okay? He said, don't make it hard. But you were already packing up the space inside your heart. Love left without warning. No crash, no scene, no goodbye song. Just a door that didn't slam and a heart that stayed too long. I kept holding on to us while you loosened everything. Love left without warning, and it took my breath instead. If love is a home, ours lost the heat, and I kept feeding the fire with everything you need. You didn't mean to ruin me. That's the cruelest part to bear. You broke me with your absence while you stood right there. So I'm gathering the pieces of the girl who begged for signs, learning that no warning is still an answer over time. Love left without warning, but I won't blame my heart for trying. I won't call the pain devotion. I won't keep myself denying. I let the door stay open for the life I haven't met. Love left without warning, but I won't live in it. Soft piano fading gently, violin like a final breath. Love left without warning. Now I choose what's left. I thought your eyes were home to me, a place where love would always be. We laughed like mornings never end, like broken hearts could learn to mend. I gave my all, my every part, kept your name carved inside my heart. But every smile, every touch, every word slipped away like it was never heard. You said forever, but never stayed. Your shadow faded where I prayed. I reached for you through endless nights, but love has wings and takes its flight. I learned that some hearts cannot remain, no matter how much we fight the pain. they remember the echoes of a fragile ember. I keep the memories, I keep the name, but it never feels the same. I bring myself full love and too much for needing more than your touch. I prayed for signs you choose to stay, but love doesn't wait, it goes away. I hear your voice in a passing song, feel your warmth where it doesn't belong. The empty spaces you left behind teach me the price of loving blind. I gave my all, I gave my heart, but some love them before they start. Love never stayed, it flew through my hands like rain. I gave my soul, I gave my tears, I fought for years, I fought through fears. I loved in fire, I loved in truth, I gave my heart, I gave my youth, and I cried, I tried to stay. Love never stayed. Maybe some hearts are just passing through. Maybe they never meant to choose. I'll heal my wounds, I'll find my way. Learn to live without yesterday. Know your love was never mine. I'll find the light that waits to shine. Love never stayed, but I escaped. But I stayed. I'll stay. I felt it first in the quiet mornings, a glance that lingered and felt foreign. Your hands once warm, now cold in mine. I try to hold on, try to define the cracks between us, small at first. I ignored the silence, feared the worst. That love can fade in the gentlest way, leaving hearts to ache and words to sway. If I remember nights times we stayed away, talking of dreams we could never make. But now the room feels hollow and wide. You drift further while I've tried to hide. I called your name in the dark, hoping to rekindle the spark. But hearts don't always fight to stay. Some love just slowly fades away. Love slipped away slowly. I sent through my fingers quietly. I held your heart like you with mine, but you let go, lost track of time. I loved with fire, I loved with pain. Every joy came with a chain. I begged the world to make you stay, but love slipped away slowly. I watch your shadow cross the floor, a presence that is here no more. You smile like everything's alright, while I'm left awake through the night. I blame myself for loving too much, for needing more than your touch. But some hearts wander, some hearts roam, leaving the ones who call it home. I trace the past and feed it light. Every memory cuts, but I hold it tight. You moved on like nothing was wrong. Now I replay your love in every song. I try to fight, I try to stay, but some love just slowly fades away. Love slipped away slowly, like sand through my fingers quietly. I held your heart like it was mine, but you let go, lost track of time. I loved with fire, I loved with pain. Every joy came with a chain. I begged the world to make you stay. Love slipped away slowly. Maybe one day I'll let it go. Maybe one day I'll learn to go. I'll heal the scars, I'll find my way. Learn to love another day. But tonight I sit remembering you, feeling the slow goodbye, fading hue. Love slipped away slowly, but all love survive. I'll find is simple, warm and kind, but it never felt that way in my mind. Every step with you was unsure ground, every silence louder than a sound. I learned your moves before your face, felt the distance grow in our embrace. I gave my patience piece by piece, calling struggle temporary peace. I told myself all hearts ache this way, that love survives by learning to stay. But I was tired of being strong, still hoping somehow I was wrong. Love was never easy, not with you. Every truth felt hard to prove. I fought for us in quiet ways, while you slipped further every day. Love was never easy, but I tried. Help away you set aside. I call the pain diversion's name, but love shouldn't feel like constant rain. I remember nights I couldn't sleep, wondering why love felt so steep. Your words were healed and gently cut, open doors then closed then shut. I learned to read between your lines, still search for hope in tired eyes. I stayed when leaving made more sense, showed your comfort over self-defense. I thought love meant enduring storms, surviving nights without a form. But every tear began to show I was given more than you could hold. Love was never easy, it was hard. Every mile, every scar. I got my heart until it broke, still believe in every hope. Love was never easy, never fair. I was always almost there. You said forever carefully, like it scared you more than me. Now the piano tells my truth, soft and slow like fading youth. The violin mourns what I became, trying to keep a love unchanged. I see now love should feel like rest, not a test you'll fail in your best. So love was never easy, but I learned some lessons only hurt. I won't confuse pain with fate, or break never easy. Believe it is soft strength. Open eyes, I choose calm over trying. We met like a soft confession, two tired hearts in borrowed light. You said my name like it was sacred, and I believed you that night. The piano hummed in the background, slow chords like warm, careful hands, and the violin wore silver sorrow only love understands. You promised me a gentle ending, a place to breathe, a steady ground. But promises can sound like music while they're already breaking down. I gave you every honest piece, the parts I hide, the parts I share, and you took them like they were nothing, like love was never meant to be fair. I held on through the quiet changes, through the days you wouldn't explain, telling myself this is normal, while my heart learned a new kind of pain. Love was never fair. I gave you my whole world, you gave me half a star. I stayed up late to save us, you slept like you didn't care. I carried all the weight of maybe you disappeared in the air. Love was never fair, and I'm the one still standing here. You started calling me less and less, your busy turned into a wall, and I became an afterthought. You'll remember if I'd fall. I learned to read your silence like a language sharp and thin, and I believed my own reflection for the distance creeping in. The kettle screamed, the sink ran cold, and I watched my dreams go pale, still folding up my feelings so you wouldn't think I'd fail. You'd say you're making problems when I asked for something true, and I wore my hurt like makeup, smiling so you wouldn't leave too soon. I tried to be your peace and your patience, but you treated love like a game, and I kept losing pieces of myself every time you changed the frame. Love was never fair. I gave you my whole world, you gave me half a stare. I stayed up late to save us, you slept like you didn't care. I carried all the weight of maybe you disappeared in the air. Love was never fair, and I'm the one still standing here. If love is a shelter, why was I outside, knocking with bleeding hands? the comfort of being adored without the work of staying true. And I called it understanding while I quietly came undone for you. But I am tired of romanticizing a hurt that I don't deserve. I'm done confusing your absence for a lesson I should learn. Love was never mine, but I won't beg for scraps like they're a prayer. I won't keep lighting candles for a night that won't repair. I'm letting go of baby, I'm laying down my tear. Love was never fair, so I'm choosing me from here. Soft piano fading slowly, violin like a final breath. Love was never fair, but I want to live in it again. The door didn't slam, but my chest still flinched, like thunder lives in a gentle hinge. He'd whisper baby with sugar soft breath, then turn your silence into a thread. I learned your footsteps by weight and speed, the way you'd sigh before you'd bleed. You're cold into every room we made, and I'd apologize, half afraid. I kept my voice small, kept my hopes in a drawer, measured my laughter so you wouldn't war. If love is shelter, why did I brace for the storm in your sweetest face? Love was never safe in your arms at night. Even when you held me, I held on tight to the edge of myself, to a quiet escape, to the lie that someday you'd change your shape. Soft piano cut into cracks in my chest, and the violin knew I was never at rest. It was never safe. Loving you. I watch my friends stop asking my plans, 'cause I canceled again with shaking hands. I wore long sleeves in the summer heat, not for bruises, just to hide defeat. You didn't hit me, you didn't yell, you just built a room without a well. No air to breathe, no light to trust, just to prove you love me turned into must. You'd break me carefully, fed by a thread, then kiss the places where my courage bled. I smiled for the mirror, then fell apart. A safe looking goal, you're the frightened heart. Love was never safe in your arms at night. Even when you held me, I held on tight to the edge of myself, to a quiet escape, to the lie that someday you'll change your shape. So piano, can you be across my chest, and the violin knew I was never at rest. I called it forever. Deep down I knew love was never safe. So I'm leaving you. So I'm folding the letters I never sent, holding I'm fine that I never meant. I'm learning that peace doesn't beg or plead, it doesn't punish you for a need. If you call it love, but it costs my breath, that isn't love, it's a slow goodbye death. Tonight I choose the girl I betrayed, and I lock the door you left unmade. Love was never safe, so I'm letting go, walking through the field like falling snow. I won't shrink my heart to survive your doubt. I won't dim my lamp just to calm you down. Soft piano witness, hear me confess, I deserve a love that lets me rest. I called it forever, but now I knew love was never safe. So I'm leaving you. I'm leaving you, and I'm finally asleep. We held the stars inside our hands, believed in dreams and perfect plans. Your smile was fire, your touch was a light. It kept the darkness from the night. We spoke in whispers, soft and slow. Promised the world, promised to grow. But time has a way of stealing hearts and tearing gently what love imparts. I still remember every kiss, the way you held me, the way I missed, the warmth we shared, the endless trust. Back then, our love was once enough. I thought forever could be ours. I thought our love would never bow. But even stars fade from the sky, and even hearts learn to say goodbye. Love was wise enough to hold me close, to light the dark. We burn so bright, we shine so strong. But now I see the night was long. I gave my all, I gave my soul. But even love can lose control. And now I stand with broken trust, remembering her love was once enough. I walk alone through empty streets, hear echoes of our heartbeat beats. I trace the moments that slipped away, the words we said, the things we'd say. I blame the world, I blame the time, I blame myself for loving blind. But love can falter, love can tire. Even flames born from fire. I kept your lips, I kept your name, but nothing can return the same. We try to hold, we try to stay, but love can't fight the breaking game. I hold on tight, I try to see, but love's not always meant to be. Love was once enough to hold me close, to light the dark. We burn so bright, we shine so strong. But now I see the night was long. But tonight our crime won the test for a love I thought would last. There was once a so make me whole to lift my heart. We shine so bright, we prayed apart. The image stars can drift apart. I'll rise again. Feel the pain, I'll find the sun beyond the rain. Though I grieve, I still trust. For love was once in love was once pure, like the first morning rain, falling so gently, never knowing pain. Your hand found mine without any fear. Every promise felt honest and clear. We laughed like time would always wait, like nothing in the world could change our fate. Your eyes held a future I trusted completely. I gave you my heart so freely, so sweetly. We spoke in hopes, not scars or doubt. Never imagined how love could wear out. I believed forever was something we earned before I learned how easily hearts can burn. I didn't know love could slowly fade without a word, without being betrayed. Love was once pure before it grew tired, before truth turned quiet, before dreams expired. Love was once true, soft and alive, before we stopped trying just to survive. And what's a memory I still hold on to? It seems years in ways I tried not to see. Your distance grew comfortable, easy and free. I softened my voice, swallowed my pain, called my tears something I couldn't explain. I told myself love meant learning to bend, even when I was breaking again and again. I stopped asking how I felt inside. I learned how to cry without letting it fly. They said are bad but not are true. I felt older, losing my youth. I stayed loyal to who we had been, while you were already letting go within. I'd never believe in love could return. If I'd waited long enough, if I lied, love was once pure. Before it felt wrong, before I felt lonely, while you were strong. Love was once pure, worn untied, before it slowly slipped behind. I gave you faith, I gave you time. You gave me silence, dressed as fire. Love was once pure, and that's the part that hurts the most. Ooh, if love was meant to make us whole, why did it slowly steal my soul? I don't regret the love I gave. I regret how long I tried to make it stay. Love was once pure, and I'll let it rest. I'd face the past gently in my chest. I'll keep the lesson, release the pain. Not every ending is lived in vain. I loved you honestly, that is true. Even when love changed it too. Love was once pure, and that means my heart still knows how to love. I say goodbye without regret to what we were and what we became. Love was once pure, and I'll believe it can be again. We had a winter that felt like spring. Your laugh in my scarf, your hands in my sleeve. Streetlights melting into our eyes. Back when it was easy to believe. You wrote my name on foggy glass, drew little hearts that wouldn't stay. and I held on to every moment like it couldn't fade away. Soft piano under lamplight, two shadows on a kitchen tile. You'd spin me slow and whisper, stay with me a little while. And for a while you really meant it. I swear I felt it in your touch, like you were home and I was safe, and love was never asking much. But somewhere in the quiet after, your warmth began to thin, like the tide pulling back so gently I didn't notice it leaving. Love was once real, and that's what hurts the most, 'cause I can't call it all a lie when I still feel your ghost. We were fire in the dark, we were light I couldn't steal. Now I'm crying in the ashes, 'cause love was once real. Kinda busy and later, your phone face down, your eyes elsewhere. Kisses turned to quick goodnights, and I learned to breathe in the shared air. You stopped asking how I was, stopped noticing when I went quiet, and I became a careful version of a girl who couldn't fight it. Violin would age at midnight, long notes like open seas, and I'd replay our earliest days like movies in my dreams. I tried to fix what I couldn't name, kept stitching hope with shaking hands, but you were already halfway gone while I was making plans. I kept our love on life support, counting every fragile beat, and you kept walking past my heart like it was just another street. Love was once real, and that's what hurts the most, 'cause I can't crawl it all a lie when I still feel your thirst. We were fire in the dark, we were light I couldn't steal. Now I'm crying in the ashes, 'cause love was once real. There was nothing wider, well remember the way you looked at me, like I was the only sound in the room, like you put away to breathe. Baby, love isn't forever, maybe it's a season that can end, but it shouldn't end in silence, when I still call you my best friend. So I'm learning how to hold the truth. Two things can both be real. You loved me once before you had, then you taught me how to heal. Love was once real, and I wondered what it meant, but I won't chase a memory to pay for what you spent. We were fire in the dark, you're stronger than I feel. I'll rise up from the ashes, 'cause love was once real. Soft piano was once real. And I'm letting it say goodbye. We built our world on fragile hope, on promises we meant to keep. I gave you faith without a doubt. You gave me nights I couldn't sleep. We tried to fix what words had broken, smiled through cracks we couldn't mend. We kept believing love could save us. You were already at the end. I held your hands through every storm, ignored the silence in your eyes. I thought if I loved harder still, the truth would change its mind. Love wasn't enough to make you stay. No matter how I tried, I poured my heart into your hands. You let it fall and slide. I fought for us until I bled, while you just needed space. I learned the hardest truth of all: love alone can make someone stay. We said goodbye in broken sentences, like strangers learning how to part. You looked relieved, I stood there shaking, holding pieces of my heart. I still hear maybe in your voice, like hope you left behind. Or maybe it's just another word for love that lost its time. I was never hard to love. I just needed someone who would stay. When life got heavy and I'd run, I'll take my heart and all its stars and learn what I did. But it saved me. I learned my worth. The tears still fall, but now I see the sending set me free. But it was enough to find me. You said my name like it would never fade, like time itself would bend and stay. I believed in every fragile vow, didn't know forever meant for now. We built our dreams on borrowed days, soft laughter, quiet plans we made. I held the future in my hands, while yours was already slipping sand. You looked at me like nothing changed, but love had already rearranged. I felt the distance in your eyes, a slow and tender goodbye. Love wasn't forever like you said. It was a season, then it left. It didn't crash, it didn't burn, it simply chose not to return. Love wasn't forever, just a song that faded softly, didn't last long. I stayed believing we were strong, but love was never meant at home. Traced your absence in empty space, still saw your smile in every place. I wore your silence like a truth, defended you when I failed you. You promised always with careful breath, like you were afraid to meet it yet. I loved you with my whole heart, Wasn't weak for holding on. I was brave for loving more. Love wasn't forever, and that's okay. Not every soul is meant to stay. It taught me how to open wide and how to heal what love denied. Love wasn't forever, but it was mine. A chapter in me at a time. I closed the door without regret. Love wasn't forever, but I won't forget. Soft goodbyes, fading light. I loved you true, and that's my right. I used to trust the morning light, the way it warmed a sleepy room, the way your laugh could make me think nothing bad could ever bloom. I wore your promises like silk, so gentle on my fragile skin, and every always that you spoke felt like a place I could live in. But love can change its face so fast, and I was late to understand. Some hands feel safe when they hold you close, then loosen without warning, let you land. My heart learned pain the day you changed, the day your eyes stopped calling me home. You learned to breathe through shattered hope, to sleep with loneliness inborn. I kept forgiving, you kept leaving. I kept believing realized you're disappearing. Your half replies at 2:03. How busy sounded like a lock. You turned and threw the key. I made a shrine of little things. Your hoodie, coffee, lingering cologne, and every room became a song. I sang alone, I sang alone. I tried to fix what wasn't mine, to be enough for both us. Love shouldn't feel like holding less, and smiling while it tears you apart. My heart learned pain the day you changed, the day your eyes stopped calling me home. It learned to breathe through shattered hope, to sleep with loneliness inborn. I kept forgiving, you kept leaving. I kept believing in our fate. My heart learned pain in your silence, in the gentle way you walked away. Maybe I was too tender, too faithful, too ready to stay. I turned red flags into sunsets, made excuses like praise I'd say. But I'm not a lesson for your brain, not a shelter for your stars. I'm a woman made of sunlight too. I just forgot my own love. My heart like pain, and it learned more, that love is not a constant bruise. It almost isn't everything, and I can finally choose. So I'm giving all my pieces, not to hit you, not to blind, just to hold myself much tighter. And I'm numb the sound of your name. I saw it in your eyes. eyes before you spoke, the quiet surrender, the final choke. We tried to build what felt like forever, but love has limits I can't measure. I reached for you, but you pulled away. Tried to fight, tried to make you stay. The warmth we had turned cold and thin, and I realized the fight I lost within. Your hand slipped out of mine like water, every promise fading a little faster. I thought we'd weather storms, we'd survive, but you let go before I knew how to try. I called your name into the night, hoping my love could hold you tight. But hearts can break before we see, and yours had already set me free. The day you gave up, the world around me fell apart. I stayed standing, but you left my heart empty. Your shadow gone, the silence echoes what went wrong. I begged for one more chance, one more touch, but love ran out and I had too much. The day you gave up broke everything I trusted in us. Trade your word to quiet sigh, try to find a reason. I lied, did I love too much or not enough? Was it fear that made you give up? I carried the weight of what we were, every memory, every word. You chose the easy path, I stayed learning that love doesn't always repay. Love leaves stars when hearts lose you. That tried to hold the pieces you drop, but some things break when love is stops. The day you gave up, I felt the air leave. Maybe letting go was all you knew. Maybe you didn't wanna fight it through. I can't hate you, I can't pretend. I just hurt for love that had no end. I will survive, but I will feel. The day you gave up, it did heal. The day you gave up, I waited by the doorway, heart in hand, hoping for words I could understand. Your suitcase packed, your coat in place, but no goodbyes fell from your face. We had dreams that danced in the night. Now they're just shadows fading from sight. I reached for your hand, tried to hold, but the warmth we had was turning cold. The silence between us got too deep. I stayed awake while the world slept. I whispered your name into the air, but no answer came. You weren't there. I thought love meant we'd face it all. I thought love meant you'd never fall. But some hearts leave without a sound, and some goodbyes I never found. The goodbye you didn't say still lingers in the dark of day. I held my breath, I held my tears while you walked away without a word to hear. I love you more than you could see, but you left your heart away from me, and now I'm standing here alone, haunted by the goodbye you didn't say. I keep your shadow in my mind, replay the moments we left behind. I bring myself for loving too much, for needing more than your touch. I trace the streets we used to roam, hoping for signs that you'd come home. But love doesn't wait for the ones who leave, and some hearts take without the stars, I'll find my way. Learn to love another day. But tonight I cry, I mourn the space of love departed, of your missing face. The goodbye you didn't say will not go in my heart always. I'll rise again, I'll find the light, but I'll remember the endless night. You more than words can show. Even when you chose to go, I'm gonna pay your fade away. I'll carry the goodbye you didn't say. Soft piano face, the goodbye you didn't say. I wake up wearing a practice smile, like armor on my skin. They ask me how I've been these days. I say I'm holding in. I laugh at jokes, I show no cracks. I play the role I know. But every night, alone on bed, my silent tears still flow. I learned how to stay standing while my heart was falling apart. Some pains I learned so carefully, they never leave a mark. This is the hurt I hide best, the one nobody sees. I carry it quietly under my breath, like a secret disease. I give my strength to everyone else while I bleed inside my chest. I smell the whitest when it hurts the most. This is the hurt I hide best. I memorize all the ways to cope, to look like I moved on. But love doesn't vanish when it's real. It lingers when it's gone. Your name still circles in my mind like a prayer I never say. I act like I don't feel the loss, but I feel it every day. They say I'm brave for standing tall. You say I'm strong somehow. You don't see I'm surviving, not healed. I let the truth fall from my lips. I'd fall apart instead. So I sew my pain into my silence and sleep inside my head. I don't want saving, I don't want pity. I just want to breathe. But even breathing feels heavy, and your heart still grieves. This is the heart I hide this, but it won't run me forever. I'm wearing scars so meet unbroken. Just you are another pressure. One day I'll lay this way to rest. Let my tears fall confessed. Until then, I walk forward quietly, living with the hurt I hide best. The strongest hearts don't scream their pain, they whisper and endure. And even hiding hurts like this means I'm still feeling, still pure. The room was quiet, the lights were low. I felt the distance I couldn't show. Your hand in mine, but it slipped away. The warmth we had gone astray. I watched your eyes, they wouldn't meet. A love that once was soft and sweet. Words unspoken, promises broken. Everything I needed left unspoken. I remember laughter that filled the earth. Now only shadows linger there. I reached for you, but you turned aside. And I realized the night love died. I held my heart, I held my breath, fighting the ache, fearing the death of something we fought would never fade. Of a love too fragile, too afraid. The night love died, I felt it in the silence. In your eyes, I gave my all, I tried to stay, but you let go and walked away. Every dream we built, every sigh fell like tears from a broken sky. And I was left to face the truth inside. The night love died. voice whisper I couldn't hear. The ghost of the love now disappears. I blame myself, I blame the past. Wished I could make the moment last, but some hearts change before we see, and some love dies naturally. I held the memories close and tight, fought through the pain that came that night. The silence was louder than any fight, and everything we were faded from sight. I wanted to scream, I wanted to call, but I couldn't save what had to fall. The night love died, I felt the emptiness, I felt the light. I'll carry the pain I'll face through tide, of memories lost, of tears I've cried. But one day I'll find hope inside, and let my heart learn to see light. Though I remember I won't hide. A night love died. A night love The city turns to watercolor when the rain begins to fall, and I still hear your footsteps in the hush of every hall. Soft piano in the dim light plays the same two notes again, like it's trying to remember who I was before the end. I loved you in the simple ways, in folded shirts and midnight talks, and saving you the warmest side of every sidewalk where we walked. You'd smile like I was everything, and vanish in your own world always. And I would hold my questions back to keep the peace, to keep your voice. I called it patience, called it faith, when it was fear dressed up as grace. 'Cause I could feel you leaving by the distance in your face. That's the pain of loving you, not the goodbye, but all the in-between. The way I kept on choosing us while you were slipping out unseen. I loved you past the warning signs, past every half-truth you called new. And now I'm left with empty hands. That's the pain of loving you. Violin cries at midnight, like a thread pulled far too tight, and I rip replay our happiest days as if they'll make it right. Your unjust tired turned to silence. You soon turned into I don't know. And I became a smaller girl so you wouldn't have to grow. I watched you laugh with strangers like your heart had learned to fly. Our mind kept circling the same old sky, asking, was it me and why? The kettle screams, the sink runs cold, and I stand there counting breath, trying not to miss you loudly, like missing you is all I have left. I didn't need a perfect love, just honest hands that wouldn't let me fall. But you held me like a season, and seasons don't stay at all. That's the pain of loving you, not the goodbye, but all the in-between. The way I kept on choosing us while you were slipping out unseen. I loved you past the warning signs, past every half-truth you called noon. And now I'm left with empty hands. That's the pain of loving you. Love is meant to be a shelter. Why did I feel out in the rain? Why did I have to earn your warmth with every tear I couldn't explain? Maybe you didn't mean to break me. That's what makes it hurt so true. You didn't crush my heart in anger, you just forgot to carry it through. That's the pain of loving you. It taught my heart what almost does. How silence can be sharper than 1,000 broken words. But I'm learning slowly, breathing, to turn my sorrow into proof. I loved you with my whole heart. Now I love me back to true. Soft piano fading gently, violin like a final view. That's the pain of loving you. And I'm You stood at the door with your hand on the frame, like leaving me there was part of the plan. The room held its breath, time started to crack, and all I could notice, you didn't look back. Your jacket was hanging heavy with lies. I searched for love in your tired eyes. I waited for something, a word, a sign, but silence answered me every time. I remember the nights we promised always, said we'd grow old, said we'd never change. Did your footsteps echo down that track? And the loudest sound was, you didn't look back. I called your name in a whispering tone, hoping my voice would pull you home. But love can't hold someone who's already gone. You didn't look back when I was breaking, didn't look back when my heart was shaking. I stood there bleeding the love I gave, while you walked away so unafraid. I held the past in a fragile crack, one last chance in a space we left. I would have followed, that's a fact, but you didn't look back. Though every corner still feels like you, your coffee cup, your worn out shoes. I talk to ghosts we used to be, they hurt less than this reality. I blame myself in 1,000 ways, replay that night through endless days. If I was softer, if I was strong, if loving you was where I went wrong. But love isn't weak for holding on, and I wasn't wrong for staying long. You chose the road, the darker track, I watched it close. You didn't look back. You say time heals, they say I move, but moving on feels like losing you. And losing you feels like losing me. You didn't look back when I was crying, didn't look back when my soul was trying to reach your heart one final time before it slipped away from mine. I gave you truth, I gave you thoughts, I gave you love you couldn't match. I would have burned the world for that, but you didn't look back. If you had turned just once, just then, I would have forgiven everything. One glance could have changed the track, but love needs two, and you lack that. I don't hate you, I just ache from loving someone who chose escape. Why didn't look back when I remember every thought, every soft surrender. I'll carry the scar, I'll carry the past, truth I'll always unpack. You didn't look back. The morning didn't look different, but it felt like something changed. Your shoes were lined up by the doorway, like you'd rehearsed the getaway. Soft piano in the next room kept a slow, uncertain time. And I watched the dust and sunlight spin around your fading mind. You didn't start a fight with me, didn't say what I did wrong. You just moved like you were weightless, and I was holding all along. Your jacket brushed my shoulder as you passed me in the hall, and I stood there half awake, like I couldn't move at all. No slammed door, no final sentence, no I'm sorry, no goodbye. Just the sound of your breathing, and then the sound of mine. You walked out quietly, like love was something to tiptoe from, like my heart wouldn't hear it breaking when you left without a word. I stayed still, I stayed waiting, like silence could bring you back to me. You walked out quietly, and it was loud inside of me. The kettle kept on humming, but the kitchen felt too wide. Your mark still on the counter, like I didn't get the news in time. The violence started crying somewhere deep behind my ribs, turning every little memory into something sharp it hit. I scrolled through old I love yous like a prayer I couldn't quit, wondering if you ever left them or just needed some place to exist. Friends asked what happened, and I said it's complicated, 'cause how do you explain a leaving that was gentle, cold, and calculated? You left me all the pictures, all the plans we used to make. You took the future with you, and you didn't even shake. You walked out finally, like love was something to tiptoe from, like my heart wouldn't hear it breaking when you left without a word. I stayed still, I stayed waiting, like silence could bring you back to me. You walked out quietly, and it was loud inside of me. Maybe you thought it would hurt less if He slipped away like smoke, but the gentlest kind of ending is the one that leaves you broke. 'Cause I can't hate a whisper, can't fight a door that didn't slam. I only know I loved you, and you let me understand. Some people don't abandon loudly, they just stop choosing you. And every quiet step they take teaches your heart what silence can do. You walked out quietly, but I won't stay unmet for. I'll gather up my pieces, and I'll lock the waiting door. I'll miss you in the mornings, and the light hits differently. You walked out quietly. Now I'm learning how to leave you in me. Soft piano fading slowly, violin like a final sigh. You walked out quietly, and I'm learning how to say goodbye. I kept your name in my favorite place, right next to hope I couldn't erase. You showed up gentle, you spoke so low, like every bruise in me didn't show. You said I'm different, and I believed. I wanted a safe kind of make-believe. I stitched your promises into my days and called it love when it felt like haze. But the silence started learning my shade, when you soon turned into mine. Just wait. I held my heart like a glass in my hands, while you danced away with careless plans. You were my mistake, the beautiful lake I chose to keep. I watered your words while you let my world fall fast asleep. I caught it forever, you caught it whenever. It's easy to stay. Now I'm counting the pieces, and your love was the break in me. You were my mistake. I learned your moods like a weather report, how to smile when you pulled me short. I turned my doubts nights into quiet prayers, and wore my pain like nobody cares. I made excuses so I wouldn't see how you only love the best of me. And every time you disappear, I blame my heart for being scared. I let you return like a familiar storm, thinking thunder meant you felt something warm. But you just needed a place to land, not someone to hold with both your hands. You were my mistake, your beautiful lake I chose to keep. I watered your walls while you let my world fall fast asleep. I called it forever, you called it whenever. It's easy to stay. Now I'm counting the pieces, and your love was the break in me. You were my mistake. I'm not ashamed that I loved too hard. I'm ashamed I mistook your crumbs for a heart. So here's my goodbye, soulful soon. I'm taking back every part you used. I forgive my hands for reaching out. I forgive my voice for all that died. And if you ever miss my light, remember you taught me how to survive the night. You were my mistake, but I won't be your lesson again. I won't bare my soul just to feel you in my skin. I'm closing the door and I'm waiting. No more maybe someday. I'm choosing no one who needed me to stay. You are my mistake. You arrived like calm after the storm. Soft hands, sweet words, a safer form. I let my guard down piece by piece. Thought you were mercy, thought you were peace. But love with you was a moving floor. Every step I took asked me for more. I learned to read your changing skies, to swallow questions, to dry my eyes. You'd say I'm trying and disappear, come back smiling and I'd lose my fear for a moment. Then it would return, like my heart was something made to burn. You were my pain in a gentle disguise, soft piano under my sleeveless I made excuses like they were prayers, covered the cracks with careful repairs. I laughed in public, I cried at home, felt lonelier with you than I did alone. You never yelled, you never shoved, you just gave affection like borrowed luck. Enough to keep me in your orbit, not enough to ever truly hold it. I asked for honesty, you gave me air, a silence dressed up as I cared, and I kept bending to fit your shape until my own heart needed escape. You were my pain in a gentle disguise, soft piano under my sleepless nights, mournful violin telling the truth I hid. That love shouldn't hurt the way this did. I held you close where I came undone, kept saying stand when you'd already run. You were my fate, and I couldn't fade. Now I'm breaking free, but I'm still too late. The pain is not a promise, and tears aren't proof of love. If I have to shrink to keep you, then you were never mine enough. So gathering my courage from the floor, learning what my voice is for. I can miss the God and still choose to leave. I can love myself and finally breathe. You were my pain, but you won't be my own. Soft piano held my heart, mine. Mournful violin turned sorrow alive. Guide me out of this endless night. I want to stay hunger for a home. I won't beg to be loved in your undertone. You were my pain, now I'm letting you fade, and I'm choosing a life I was afraid to crave.